Hello everyone, this is Charles BridgTec with another flashlight review, this time on an Emisar. Now I was sent this by JLHawaii. Now he does have his online store. Show you a screenshot of that there on screen just to show you. Now the version I have here is the D4Sv2, also in green, W2. Now he was kind enough to also send me the smaller battery tube, which is here, and as you can see, green body, also included a special battery size and type for this light. That's what it looks like on the front. Now he does also have a Facebook group, which I will leave a link down in the description as well. Alright, before we open this up, let's go ahead and take a look at the additional accessories he sent me. Now you can purchase these separately. So if you're wanting a little stubbier light for everyday carry, definitely can do that with the option of this tube and battery. It's in here pretty tight. Yeah. That's the tube there. And here's the extra battery he sent me. Now I'll put it together to show you what it looks like, but in the testing I'm going to use the bigger battery. I'm going to need longer run times. And this is the additional battery that you can get here. It's kind of hard to show you, but this is a Vapcell, 1800 milliamp. This is an unprotected cell. And with this battery power, this is a 15 amp battery. So it's like half the size of a 26650. This is a 26350. It's nice to be able to have that option if you want. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the light. Now the seller here contacted me via Facebook, so it's nice. I appreciate the opportunity. This is my very first Emisar, and we have the famous Android UI software in the light. Just a regular printout, that's all you get. And we'll go over most of the features there. Again, that's his distribution card. And we have one lanyard, 2 O-rings. And you got a steel bezel that you can add to it. Probably will too. Now, let's go ahead and take the light out. And there it is. Now I had my choice of colors, which I chose this green. Green in all shades except for fluorescent are my favorite colors. My very first time ever testing and reviewing from Emisar. Now this did come with the battery, my sample, but it is separate, so I'm going to go ahead and take it out, show it to you now. You do have a magnetic tail cap on that as well. Now the battery he gave me here is a Vapcell. This is a 26650, 4200 milliamp. This is a 20 amp cell, even though it tells you a higher amperage on the battery. Don't go by that because it's only a nanosecond, so you definitely don't want to go by that means whatsoever. But it is nice that he provided this battery as well, which is one I'll use in the testing the night shots. Take a look at that heavy duty tail spring. And we'll go ahead and take the rest of this apart while I've got it undone anyways. Well greased threads. There's the head of the light. Heavy duty. Okay, so now while I've got it taken apart, we're going to go ahead and put it together with the smaller battery tube here. Now the color doesn't match exactly. That's okay. Strong magnet on that. I'll show that to you in a little bit. That's what that looks like. And that is, talk about a stubby. Huh. Definitely does have an interesting look. Alright, well now we're going to go ahead and put the other barrel back on here. See how strong this magnet is? So you're definitely not going to drop the little battery. And we'll put it all back together and we'll start taking a look at it here a little more closer. So we already know what the battery is that I'm going to use in my testing. Alright, now that that's all back together, now let's go ahead and go over the light. Some heat sinking here on the head. Some knurling here, and it does have a little bit of a surface roughness to it, but it's not real prominent. I'll just show you the strength on that with the battery in it. Super strong. That thing is not going anywhere. Probably one of the stronger ones I've ever tested. That's definitely a nice feature. Hands-free, stick it on any metal surface, and because of the beam and its floodiness, that's definitely going to provide a huge area of light at once. Now the style and design on this is very nice. I like the fact that they went up a little bit higher here, so in the dark you know right away. You feel this, your button's right there. That is an added benefit. Lanyard hole here. Now I'm going to go ahead and take off the bezel, and I'm going to put the other one on here because I like to check the looks of this one. Just wanted to show you guys what it looks like with the stainless steel bezel on here. And it appears to be there's a little bit of a gap in there from the optics. So I'm definitely going to put the green one back on. If that was a little more flush, I would use that. So I'm going to take this one off and put the green one back on it, and you'll see there's no gap anymore, so I'll just go ahead and leave that one on there. Feels solid. It's got a good size in the hand. Usually hold it in the palm of your hand. Everyday carry. Now my understanding is the version that I have here has the OSRAM LEDs, so that's impressive. Now the machining and finish on this is excellent. No issues here. Can table stand that if you need. Button is recessed into the body. That'll help for should you accidentally activate it, prevent that a little bit. Also with this head the way it is, not going to roll very far at all. It's a nice feature. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the special optics here. Now this is running the OSRAM W2 LEDs, 4 of them. Now you've got some additional auxiliary LEDs in here, and I'll show those to you in a little bit, and then how to make them brighter or turn them off. Alright, so now that we've already gone over the battery and the internals in the beginning, kind of changing it up a little bit here. So now we're going to go ahead and activate the light by making sure I got good contacts. So you can see there, nice little locator beacon right on the light. Set that on a counter. Power goes out. You can see your light in the dark. Now we're going to go ahead and change it up a little bit. You're going to hit the side switch 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now you'll see it's a little bit different. No light at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now you'll see a little bit dimmer. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. Now it's a lot brighter, and that stays on. Now this will drain your battery, but if you know a storm's coming, you can simply, when a storm is not there, manually lock the light out. When you know that storm's coming, set that on the counter. You're going to see this from a long ways out. Even if you drop it in the dark, you'll still be able to find it because that's pretty bright. Definitely eye candy. So now I'm going to show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now it should be right back where we were originally. And that's how you change those locator beacons. A lot of people are very fascinated with the auxiliary LEDs and the options. I really like the ones that are on the tail caps that you can put in there and they glow. Those look really nice. It's got to be real dark though. Alright, so now we're going to go over the UI. We're simply going to turn this on. Now it's on high, so we're going to go ahead and ramp that up, then ramp that down. I want to kind of show you the beam a little better here. Show you the beam. You can kind of see how it is. It does have a very nice centralized hotspot, but the spill area tapers off very quickly. Further you get out, the larger that hotspot becomes. So the beam definitely is going to have some use, especially with the spill area. Now sometimes, depending on how this tapers off, how quickly it does, and we'll see how it does in the night shots. Some lights I have, the spill area drops off too quickly. So now we're going to ramp it all the way up. That's the highest output in the UI. Now if you do want it on the highest output, 5100 lumens. That's, I could feel the heat over 1.5 feet away. Insane. going to turn it back down. Now, be cautious when you're running it on the higher outputs. On any high powered light, they do heat up very quickly. It's only made for a short burst, so 10-15 seconds. This thing here is already starting to get pretty warm, so you definitely want to, you know, use your battery life conservatively. If you don't need, you know, 5100 lumens, 1000 lumens, this is going to run with no problems, probably no step down as well, and that's plenty of light. It's going to conserve your battery power, but whenever you do need it, bam, you got it. Turn it back off, double click again, goes right back to the last light output that you had it on, and we're back to the regular UI. So now we want to use what they call a stepping UI. 1, 2, 3. Now we're on stepping. So now we can just simply push the light to go through those light outputs. Pretty quick. 3 levels. Now if you are somebody that just wants the medium and the highest light output in the UI, stepping is definitely going to be the one for you. All the way to the lowest. 1, 2, 3. Now we're back to the ramping. Pretty simple to do that back and forth. So now we're going to go over the special features of this light, which are my favorite on all the Android UI lights. So now we're going to simply 1, 2. Anytime from off will get you the highest output. Turn it back off. 1, 2, 3 will get you battery level check. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So 4.1 volts on that battery. And it'll keep doing that till you hit the button. And the next thing we can do now, this does have a digital lockout. I showed you the manual earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the light is locked out. It will only come on the lowest light outputs there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're back in to using the light like you normally would. Now we're going to do the next special mode. Okay, so now we're going to do what they call momentary mode. You want to set the light up beforehand. I'm going to raise it down to about there. Turn it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the light will only come on at that level. If you want to use it on the highest outputs, you can do that as well, except turbo. So whenever you need the light, pretty cool. Now to get out of that, simply unscrew the tail cap, break the connection. Now we're back to the regular UI. So it's instant on and off with the light level you choose. So it's pretty cool. So now 6 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now this has a Muggle Mode. And so whenever you do the light, when it turns on and turns off, it kind of slowly comes on and slowly goes off. See how it just slowly comes on? So now we're going to go ahead and turn the Muggle Mode off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now the light just comes on. It doesn't slowly power up and power down when you go to hit it. It's just instant on and off. So now to get to these other special modes, which are some of my most used on this UI, personally, triple click this. On the third click, you want to hold the button down. 1, 2. Now you have what they call a lightning storm mode. Now there's no level adjustments on this particular mode, but if you put a little, you know, make a diffuser for this, put it behind a corner with a little piece of white you know, plastic that's see-through. This is amazing. Or put it in your window if you don't want to disturb your neighbors. And then of course you want to double click. We'll get you Candlelight Mode. Now this one here you can intensify, which brightens it, or make it dim. Kind of give you an idea. Try to lower it here a little bit. But kind of give you an idea. And it does look really, really cool at night. And we're going to simply double click again. I'll get you what they call a bicycle mode. You can intensify this as well. It's got that little pulse brightness light output there. You can really see it on the higher outputs there. And it's so quick that my camera's only picking up the last portion of the flash. Again, you can make it the full brightness if you want. Want to make this into a little bike light. Definitely someone's going to see you with this. Now we're going to double click again. Now you have what they call a party mode. Now this party mode you can intensify by speeding up the pulse flash combination there, and it wigs out my camera really bad, so we'll lower it back down a little bit to kind of slow it down a little bit. So there it's about the best I can do here without my, that's probably the closest I can show you to what it really looks like. So other than that, it really just starts to flash too slowly here. Now you can only see half the beam. Kind of can see halfway on the screen there, slowly disappearing. That's crazy. It's only picking up half of the beam. Interesting. Double click again. We'll get you what they call tactical strobe. And this thing is very distracting. And it's at the full light output. So double click again. We'll now go back to lightning storm mode there. Click that one time, takes you out of it. Again, this thing is just amazing, especially with the moonlight level there. Press and hold from off. The UI is pretty straightforward. Now the diagram can be confusing, especially if you're new to flashlights, so definitely want to play around with it. You can do some additional features on this, which includes programming, which I'm not going to do. So you definitely have a preference. You can make this light do whatever you want to do. I love green, so I'm kind of partial to that color, but definitely the build quality on this is top notch. Not seeing any issues there. Alright, well, let's wait no further. Let's take this bad boy out, see how it does in the wilderness. We are out here in the darkness with the Emisar D4Sv2. Nice locator beacon for your flashlight should it become dark. I'm going to turn it on, and it is on. Great for up close. At this light level, easily see about 5 to 10 feet. Yeah, 10 feet is going to be the most usable light output in range at this level. I'll raise it up here a little bit. Give you an idea what the beam type is on the fence. 65 feet to that tree there from where I'm standing. 35 feet to the water spout here from where I am. And you can see it there faintly. That's shooting 138 feet at this light output. Right there on that famous tree of life. I'll give you an idea on the range. The white fence here. We'll raise it again a little bit. There we go. Air quality has been really bad last 3 weeks. Tonight was 102 ppm, parts per million. Still not the best, but it's not 200 and something like it was last weekend when I do my night shots. So I'm only going to be out here for a little while. Normally I stay out for an hour, hour and a half. So nice wide beam, large hotspot. See the playgrounds out there across the park. Does have some good range on it. Fence line, tree line. I'm going to raise it up here a little bit. Bugs are starting to freak out. Pretty typical. Now we will do turbo on here, but this thing does get toasty quite quickly. So just kind of play it by ear, see how long my hands can handle it. But at this light level, it's not getting hot just yet. Now this will cycle down. It's not super cold out tonight, but it is cooler than it has been, so usually making that school there and making the palm trees there. First one definitely, second one is kind of faint. Before and after. I'm going to do the highest output here on the Tree of Life, situated here in the UI. That's the highest. Now this does have thermal regulation, so it will cycle down, and then we'll do turbo. So you can see it makes those way out there. A little pocket rocket here. Try not to get wet earlier. And we're gonna raise it back up. Now we're gonna go ahead and do turbo. See how long I can handle it. There's turbo. Kind of drowns out the camera a little bit, which is expected. Look at that light up at the end of that light beam. Easily lights up my testing area here. 238 feet there. Now it is cycling down. So we can do turbo again. There we go. 238 feet there. Yeah, hitting those palm trees with these. Look at that. Wow. Now it is getting toasty here on the head. And there it goes, cycles back down. And I think you get the idea on this little bad boy. Great product. My very first. Okay, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those night shots. Really a top-notch, not only in build quality, but also that beam performance is amazing on this. Very nice. Kind of leans a little more towards the flood side, but it still has that hot spot that has some decent throwing range out there. And it was hitting the second tree behind the tree of life, and that's quite a bit out there, especially for a floodlight. Remember, this thing does get hot, really hot, quickly. That's why I was kind of limiting the run times on turbo, so I could have enough time with it, not only to play around with it, but also to show a demonstration of it on video. But the UI, of course, is always kind of was difficult a couple years ago when it first started coming out. Wasn't really happy with it, but kind of growing on me more and more. And I'm also seeing the fact that they're using the Android UI in a lot of these lights that are coming out now. So as far as the additional battery options here that are included in this light can be purchased separately. I just want to make that clear. Now, the battery that are included in this review here are sold separately, including the tube here and this battery. So if you are interested in getting this, you can purchase it at a small additional cost. Really not that much more to be able to get that feature and option if you want it. So it feels good, like that ramping. That's why I used it in the night shots. Kind of can just dial in perfectly. The magnetic tail cap is just super strong. I mean, you literally have to really pull it off of the surface. So if you're going to use it on your car, definitely want to put a paper towel on there so you can easily just slide it off, because it's going to take some effort to pull it off the metal surface, and you may scratch up your car. So be careful when you're placing it on metal objects. Pull it straight off. But super strong on that, and it is a big plus. Alright, well, I want to thank JLHawaii for sending me this Emisar. This is my very first one, so am pleased to have received it and given the opportunity to review it here on my channel. Definitely something that I've seen in the past and a lot of people raving about it, but of course, till it comes across my bench here, I can't tell you one way or the other. Now, he does have two ways you can get this. You can get it on his eBay store, which I will leave a link to, as well as his online store. If you are interested in getting this, remember the batteries are sold separately. Just comes with everything in the box except that battery. I will leave the link to those also. I'm also working on a special discount code. He is the biggest seller of these lights, including some other lights that are on his website as well. Hopefully you guys can check those out. Might see something else. If you're interested, make sure you tell them that Charles BridgTec sent you. It really helps me out as well. Now that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please share, like, and subscribe. That way I can bring more of these type of lights from Emisar to you from JLHawaii in the future. Thanks for watching. Take care.